Hey friends, Crystal from Luminous Elegance here. This is going to be a continuance video from my last one. This is the blue icy snakes. I took a lot of time on these. Actually, I did one half in the first video and I cut it. The other one was actually finished on another day. This was like a 6-hour stream. And I still didn't get done with the snakes. The snakes took a lot of time. So sit back and hang out and let's get into it. So just a couple of things that I did was put these stickers on there. Now, this is where I actually found out that not all of these tinfoils are the same. So the silver was probably the most annoying foil that I've used yet. It's like you went to your kitchen and grabbed some tinfoil or aluminum foil and crumbled it up and put it in your resin. I did not like it. Do not recommend it. I'm going to see if I can find some alternatives. So I don't know why it was that way. Anyways, so I was trying to line these up and do the same one, and then I figured out that it was taking entirely way too much time. So that's where I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do one, figure out what I want to do, and then I'll copy and paste that on the other one. So the most time consuming, I would say, would probably be actually putting the resin and curing it, which you'll see shortly. Do you guys see how difficult this silver foil is being? It was so impossible. So here I'm just kind of brushing over the resin just to make sure that it's all sticking properly, and then I'm going to actually go back over it with the UV resin. I think this is so satisfying though, like just the way it kind of looks, very icy. If it was wintertime, I would definitely wear these, 100%. The very blue icy look to it. So you see I'm just kind of dabbing it a little bit at a time. If I pour it, it's gonna mess up the sides, 100%. So I'm just kind of dabbing it on there. That way it just sticks, and then once I cure it, it's not going to move anywhere. I'm going to work on the sides anyways, so it doesn't really matter. So I was trying to cut because I got some resin that actually slid down on it, and I was stressed because I was like, oh no, it's gonna look really weird. But I was like, you know what, mistakes happen, it's not that serious. So I just worked with it, and then I started putting the blue foil on the side, and I think that it complemented it very well. And that's when I had the idea, well, why don't I put silver on the other side? And I think it was okay concept, but honestly, the way that I had it, I really wish I put blue on both sides. I feel like the blue that I was using complemented it very well. And well, with how this foil looked, the silver foil, I feel like it looked too bunched up, which was not what I wanted. I wanted it to kind of flake apart. But this is where it's the learning curve, right? I'm still very new at this, guys. If you have any suggestions, especially when it comes to certain foils and how hard they are to break up, if you could guys maybe send me a link to a better one, I would appreciate it. Most of them are pretty fine. I just find it certain colors that are hard to break apart. So I'm actually having to hold the piece because if I set it down, it's not going to cure properly. Now, if I had the UV light that actually is from the bottom and the top, I think it would be fine. I could just set it on top of a mold, but at that point, I wouldn't really even understand if it would get stuck on the mold or not, because knowing the UV light, sometimes if it's sitting on top of the UV resin, or sorry, if it's sitting on top of the mold and it's sitting on top of the UV light, that light can actually make it burn onto the mold and it sticks, and that causes your mold to rip. Now, I did watch a video recently where this lady was saying that if you put it in the freezer, you put it in like some warm water, like really hot water where it's like almost boiling but it's not that hot, it should just come out of it. Now, I don't know if that also applies to UV resin or just epoxy resin, so I'm definitely gonna have to figure out that. I do have a mold right now that did get stuck to it, and I'm going to have to try both of those methods, and I'll let you guys know if it works. I'll be your guinea pig. Yeah, do you guys see how it's bunching up there? That's such a pain in the butt. I don't understand why it's like that. Maybe it's just the material, they didn't cut it smooth enough, or I should say thin enough. Sorry guys, my sinuses are running all of a sudden. I think it's because it's warm outside now and all the tree pollen is coming out to play, and I have really bad seasonal allergies. So I'm gonna have to start taking my allergy pill again. It looks like spring has finally arrived. So these are actually really pretty gems that I have. I actually have a bunch of different colors. I have different sizes, some like that and then some a little bit bigger. And I don't know, I just felt like this needed a little more sparkle because I like sparkle. And so what I'm doing is I brushed on super glue on the bottom just like I did the flowers, and I just stuck those on there. I honestly, when I do pieces like this that I've never done that, it's kind of like an experiment. I'm trying new things, so you know, I appreciate you guys being here along for the ride, and hopefully you guys can give me some insight and I can give you some insight. I feel like the camera quality's gotten better, but the shakiness is still there, unfortunately. At this point, I think it's just because the tripod that I have is hooked to the desk, and any slight movement is shaking it. So hopefully you guys aren't easily dizzy. These earrings, I think, turned out really nice. I don't know if I'm going to sell them unless someone actually wants them. I think I'm just going to wear them for myself. I do make a lot of earrings that I wear, like promoting my own business. But yeah, look how detailed that is. I think it's so pretty. I think from afar you see something shiny and it's nice and blue, you know, that could go with an outfit, but when you actually look at it up close, it's very detailed. Oh yeah, I had to cure it in some water because it was very tacky, very tacky. I actually did both of them once I finished both of them, but that's the before and the after. And then I'm about to do the second one. This is where I actually had to wait a whole nother day to do it. I had to go get Sam from work, and it was insane. I was like, that took me entirely way too long to do. I did not think it was going to take that much of my time. Did too. And then I had to remember that, like, the snakes, the way they go is kind of opposite on the different ears. So I had to pay attention to the placement of the stickers. Guys, I'm trying not to be so chatty. I feel like I word vomit so much, and it's like a downward spiral. Us Southerner girls, we don't know how to shut up. If you guys are cool with me just kind of rambling, let me know. If you guys want me to shut up, let me know. At some point I'm not gonna stop rambling, it's just in my DNA, but I did find a better technique though this time. You know, the beginning of the last video, you saw me have it on a napkin and was trying to break it apart, and then I found out at the end it's actually a lot easier to put it in the UV resin and start breaking it up and then placing it on there. And so that's another thing, right? I feel like that's cool to be able to like stop in the middle of doing one earring and then going the next day into the other, because it's like you realize that you made it a lot harder than it had to be. So I did like that. But you can see how difficult it is to break up that silver. I don't know why I just didn't give up, but you know. Also, do you guys like this background music? I think it's so cute. It definitely calms me. It's kind of making me a little sleepy. A little sleepy. Yeah, and here I am again holding the snake while it cures. Also, in one of my other videos, it wasn't this video, but now that I'm thinking about it, I should tell you guys. I found out that my UV resin cures really fast without even being under a UV light. I went ahead when it's going to be in a future video actually. I went ahead and poured 3 different cups because I was going to do 3 separate colors. And I was like, no, I'll wait till I'm about to do it before I put the color in it. So I set it to the side underneath my desk, just out of the way so I didn't spill it. So there was no chance I got hit by the UV light. It was not in direct sunlight. That thing started curing. I went to go mix in a color and I was like, wow. I was wondering why it was feeling so hard to stir. It had like already cured all the way around the sides. So unfortunately I had to throw that UV resin away and start again. But lessons learned. Do not pour until you know for sure you're about to use that. Here I am again with the rhinestones at the bottom. I feel like I was struggling a little bit with this glue towards the end. I need to see if there's like a better type of glue to use under the resin. And I say that just because, like I said, I believe there's like a chemical reaction between the UV resin and the super glue. It makes it very thick and stringy. So while I'm putting it on, is instantly getting really thick. And when those gems weren't on there all the way, it was causing issues. But I do think that these earrings turned out really well. As for the detail of it, it did take me a long time to do these. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and actually watching these. I hope you guys like these pieces of earrings. If you want to see some more similar, drop a comment. Swing by my Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for always supporting me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon in the corner. Love you guys. Mwah.